All right, man. Today we have a special guest, man. Personally, she's been putting up with me for a lot of
A
years.
long time. A long
It
time.
has been. She's like she's like a personal buffer. You know what I'm saying? So before I do some things or say some things, she
Yes,
kind of
you
helped
do.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
she kind of buffed some things, helped me see it from a different perspective. She's always been honest with me. She's always been transparent. She's helped me see myself in a better light. So to some and to the
Try.
rest, man.
Try.
Yeah, to the rest of you guys who don't know her just yet, we have Miss Shana Simms.
Hello, everybody who's watching.
Yeah, aka Zoe's mom. You know nobody really you don't
Yes,
go by your
that's
name.
my
You know, yeah,
baby.
you don't have your name no more when you have children. You
No, I'm
identify by your
Zoe's
children.
mom.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Funny story. When I was a teacher, well, I'm still a teacher, but at my last school back in Texas, our fifth grade hall was right next to the pre-K hall. And pre-K's 4 years old. That's their first couple years, in school trying to adjust. And there was this little boy named David who was just showing out. And like my classroom was the first one by the pre-K hall. So I heard all the fits. And one day, I'm gonna be honest with you, I got tired of hearing him cry. So I needed to investigate. I was like, this is getting on my nerve. Like, this is day 4. You're ruining my coffee break. Like, let me go see what's wrong with this kid. So I go and I pick him up. He's a little chunky thing, but I pick him up and I hug him and I was like, it's okay. Like, calm down. This is day 4. You survived the first 3 days, so they're not gonna kill you. Like, calm down. Ever since then, I was David's mom. Like his whole class. Hi, David's mom. I was like, that's
Oh
all I
wow.
get. Like, no, not David's mom. You're
Yeah.
David's mom. Okay. So, you know, I was
Wow, you
David's
David's
mom.
mom. You David's mom. You worked in the same school. Okay,
Yeah.
tell you, man.
Yeah. I had my own class and everything, but to those 4 year olds, I was David's mom.
That's amazing. Hey, children put two and two together, man. You know, you ain't hugging me, so you must know David very well.
I was
That's pretty
David's
dope,
mom. I
man.
thought that was cute though. I was just like, yep. So from that point on, that's what I answered to. So I get
Yeah,
it. I get
for a
it.
whole school year, you was David's mom. So
Yep.
that's
Yep. Yep.
dedication. You said that was in Texas.
Yeah, that was in
So, how,
Texas.
so how's David doing now?
Well, last I checked, he made it to first grade, so he
Good job.
survived.
Good job with parenting.
Um, I got him. I got him on pre-K. He made
Hey,
it
good
from
job.
pre-K to kinder,
Yeah.
and then kinder, of course, got cut because of the whole COVID thing. And then when we went back, I think he was in first grade. We gotta say he was in first grade because I didn't see him. I stayed in my
Okay.
little cocoon because I was pregnant at the
Gotcha.
time, so I didn't venture out
Oh,
much.
gotcha. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
David's
but
mom.
we're jumping ahead of the chronological order here from what I was told. So I'm
Don't
ready
do
when
that.
you are.
Don't do that. We don't have no order here. We just look professional. The goal is to appear as if we have some kind of order. Uh,
I got
but
you.
yeah,
I got
but all right. So like I said, I know your mom. I know you got a little one. A very beautiful young lady.
you.
So
Marcel.
I don't know
Now
if
I
she's
got tons
napping
of
now.
pictures whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay.
Tons of pictures whenever you're ready.
I bet you do. So, all right, take me back. I know you are from Georgia, correct?
Hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
born and raised. I call it the dual citizenship because I was born in Augusta,
Mm,
ironically at Fort Gordon. So my dad at the time was military, so I was born into a military family. Um, can't tell you how long he stayed because when I met him and remember who he was nowhere near the military. So I can't really tell you how that worked. I just
yeah.
know it was some sort of military affiliation in it very briefly. But
Got
so we were in Augusta till I turned about 12. And then my
okay.
mom got remarried and stepdad lived in Conyers, which is about 45 minutes outside of Atlanta.
Hmm.
So that's where I ended up going to high school and graduating. So that's why I say dual citizenship because I know a little bit about both little areas.
Gotcha.
And then I ended up back in Augusta for college. So it worked, I guess.
All right. Now, how did I know? Because I know, well, we met as the Paine College.
Of course.
So how did you
I
end up
met
choosing
Bo.
Paine? Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't meet,
yeah, yeah,
and when I was there, I met Bo. I didn't
yeah.
know Matthew and I didn't know Jordan, but I knew Bo. And Bo was a mess. Bo was a hot mess. But
Won't he
if I'm
do it?
speaking candidly, yeah, yeah. If I'm being real, my senior year of high school, I didn't really apply a whole lot of pressure toward the college route. You know how you have those kids who start taking the SAT in 10th grade and nah, didn't do that. I took my SAT my senior year, ended up having to take it twice.
Mhm.
Got barely above floating scores, and I was just like, you know what? We're gonna find a school that doesn't put so much emphasis on SAT scores because there's a school out there for me because I just can't do this thing. Um, so that's where Paine came in. Paine did not
Oh,
require SAT scores at all. They just was like, put your application in, we'll run your credit, welcome. So hey, it worked because I was like, I'm not taking this test anymore. I took it twice. I got lower scores the second time. I think I was
mm,
stressed. It was bad because, and then it's like the conditions I had to take the test in. Didn't have a car. The test was in downtown Atlanta at Georgia State, one of their little million buildings. I got dropped off. That's how you know times have changed. I got dropped
yeah,
off,
yeah,
and it was like, "Call me when you're ready." What? Like, so I'm navigating through the city of Atlanta trying to find this building. So like I didn't start off well. Didn't
gotcha.
start the test. Didn't start off well. Had to hitchhike back because my ride got caught up in a meeting. And it was like,
Oh,
yeah, we'll get down there as soon as we can. And like I said, it's about 45 minutes from Conyers to back to the city, and don't add traffic.
mm,
So thank God I didn't end up on SVU, but
yeah,
I got home. But those were the conditions that I had to take this test under. So I was like, after this, it's not meant. Like, so we're gonna find a school that doesn't require SAT scores. And so a friend of mine, I don't know if you remember Brittany, but Brittany was telling me about I totally forgot about Paine. Because remember, I'm from Augusta. We did summer camp at Paine because they did like a free um, they did a free summer camp for the children who lived in projects. Let's call it what it is.
mm,
Project kids. They need somewhere to go for the summer, so they
yeah,
don't tear the neighborhood. So my cousins lived in one of those neighborhoods, and my mom was like, "I need somewhere for you to go." So me and my cousin ended up going to Paine twice for their program. So I was familiar with the campus. I didn't even consider that as a place to go for college. It was just like, you in your hometown. Oh, that's just the church.
mm,
That's the baseball field. You just never look at it as somewhere other than what you pass almost every day. But my friend Brittany, we were in English class one of them days. I wasn't paying attention, and she was telling me she got a full ride, full scholarship. I was like, Pain? I ain't never think about pain. So I was like, let me try to get me one of those full rides. Hit the didn't make that mark. didn't do that. Because I wasn't slow, wasn't a bad student at all. But at the time, I was not an overachiever either. It's just like,
mm,
listen, if I can get a B, I'm good. Like, not as the 79.5. I'm good. Like, I
yeah,
wasn't really trying to go for that 100. So GPA did not give me full scholarship. Did get me in though.
yeah.
So got in. That's how Pain came about. I got in. And because of my financial situation, I got a part of this. I don't know if you remember the SSS, Student Support Services, little groups.
Mm-mm, I don't think so. I
It
know,
was
no,
over.
no.
It was in the Mary Helm Hall building, right across from the calf.
Oh no, if it was in the building, I don't remember because I didn't really go to those.
Right. We'll
No, the
get to
calf
that.
was. I didn't know what the calf was.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
it was across from the calf. Well,
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
so because of my financial situation, going into college, I got a part of that group, which was a lifesaver because they would
Yeah.
take us on, and I would say field trips because, to Augusta, going to Atlanta is a field
Mm-hmm.
trip.
It's a big deal.
Yes, you had to get put on your good clothes.
Yeah.
So they would take us to little outings for like $5 and went to a Hawks game, Six Flags, just to kind of get us off campus. So that was a plus. But that's how I picked Paine, or more like it picked me. That's how that
Yeah.
worked.
They ain't told me nothing about that group. I'd have been there.
No, you would have probably gotten in trouble because you wander off, you get left, you just left. You know how that works.
That's pretty
If you ain't
cool,
on the
man.
bus,
Yeah, like if you ain't here, raise your hand, like type deal. Yeah, it just left my little tail.
probably had moving buddies and stuff. You're like, yep, I don't know where mine went. He said he's going to the bathroom. He never came back.
Yeah, we don't know what happened. That's pretty cool,
Yeah.
man. Goddamn Penn College. I love that. I want to hope they're still doing that type of thing. Especially children from where our young adults where I'm from, man, being from a small town like that, that'd be a great asset, to do, get that exposure. What I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
because
Augusta is
most
a
people
big
from
deal.
Augusta, yeah, they don't leave the city. They
Mm,
unfortunately they do not go anywhere.
they
And
stuck
I
them
just
all.
recently went home. Yeah, I just recently
Mm,
went home in July, and then went to Augusta to visit family, and it's pretty much the same.
the
Still those same people,
still
the
pain.
same
Yeah, that
spot.
makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, you're like, goodness gracious, people. Like that was 15 years ago. You still all right? Well, nice seeing you.
yeah. Can't say I ain't get home, and can't say I never came home.
Right, but this is why.
Yeah.
Like this, I'm good. I'm good on that.
Mm. So yeah, so you choose pain,
Yep, yep.
and then you major in
Early childhood education, which I
how
don't regret it, but
okay,
that was not my first choice.
really?
So, no, it was not. I wanted to do, I went into college as a psychology major.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, I went in as a psychology major. My initial goal was to have my own practice, just to listen to other people's problems, scroll on a paper, and then go home and talk about them. You know how most psychiatrists do. And if they tell you they don't, they're lying. They just hope
Yeah.
you get fired, but they do. So that was my initial goal, and took a couple of psychology classes.
Hmm.
I will never forget her, Dr. Onisha Goon, and I became an education major after that. Like that was just, it's like nope.
Wow.
I went right on downstairs, went to the what is the it wasn't financial aid. One of them offices where you go to switch over your stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
But see, my advisor, I was like, yeah, this is not gonna work. Because I
yeah,
found out I have to go through her to get out of the department. I barely made it out of her class. That wasn't gonna work. So I was like, yeah, let me
yeah,
find something else, find a
yeah,
building.
yeah.
But I
Especially like you
still
said,
like
yeah, that's
I mean, I
tough.
still liked it. But she was rough. She was one of those ain't nothing against, before I say this, nothing against tribal cultures, African cultures, clearly for my people, but she was deep. She was deep
Yeah,
into it. She was some type of chief, and she used to wear all these beads, and she had these long dreads with all these different pieces in them. And this bead meant something, and this bead meant this, and she only would turn a certain way because the sun had to hit this bead. Like it was deep. It was deep.
yeah.
And
I
one day she
remember
was
her.
talking. She no, you wouldn't. She talks with her hands. So she was doing this, and she had this real deep voice, and she was like, "So children," that's how she talked. And she was doing this, and she popped one of them beads, and they were like the size of poppy seeds. So she did that, and it popped, and they all scattered on the floor. But everybody was scared to move. That's
Yeah,
how her class was. It was this real like, if you don't catch what I'm saying, you're not gonna pass. So she had everybody scared to move. So when it popped, we didn't move, and she got upset because nobody jumped up to help her pick up her beads.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yeah. It's like, yeah, nope, nope, nope.
Yeah, you saw the sign early.
Yeah, we were learning about bystander apathy. Like the lesson stuck. Don't get me wrong, the lesson stuck. But bad example. I didn't mean to be the subject of that example, but it just,
Yeah,
she got upset because nobody jumped up to help her get her beads. But it's like I'm scared to touch it. Like if we touched
yeah,
it, we was gonna get in trouble. Like it was just I didn't like it. And so
yeah.
when I
I
found
understand.
out that she was the head of the psychology department, and I was gonna have to go through her to get out. I was like, let me go see my advisor. This ain't it. So that's
Mm.
how education came. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah,
do something I know how to do. I can teach. It's not
mm-hmm.
hard. Let's just work on that one. So that's how I
Got
chose that. Um, yeah, that's the story behind that one.
it. Yeah, I
And
didn't
it's
know that.
been initially too, probably didn't know this either. I wanted to do high school, but I'm
Oh,
5'1".
yeah, yeah. I don't see that going well.
I'm 5'1", and at the time of graduation, I would have been 23, working at a high school. And yeah, that my advisor, I think I let her talk me out of it, which I would have been fine because
Yeah,
nothing about a 16-year-old kid turns me on. Okay, that's just sick in my opinion.
yeah,
In my
yeah,
opinion, but I let her talk me out of it. She's just like, yeah, you're probably gonna have a rough time with those high schoolers because you blend in. Like I probably would have,
yeah.
so. But initially, yes, I wanted high school, but I went to the little ones, and I don't
Gotcha.
regret it. But some stories. I got some
Yeah,
stories.
I bet you
got
do, man. Yeah.
got some
So, all right.
stories.
So you chose pain because standard
It chose
levels. I
me.
get
We're
it.
gonna
You know.
say
Some,
it chose
yeah,
me. Pain
yeah.
chose me
So,
because I
sometimes that's
applied
how.
other places now,
Yeah.
and they
Oh.
promptly told me no. Promptly, like promptly. I got that letter within 24 hours of saying submit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like when it starts off. Thank you for applying
Yeah.
to Georgia State. Unfortunately, I ain't even finished it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I applied to Georgia State. I applied to Valdosta because I wanted to stay in the state, close to
Mm.
family. But yeah, then nobody else but Payne welcomed me with open arms. So I was like, I'm coming. I'm coming. Here I go.
Yeah. Listen, they had open on flowers and a red carpet. Like we just
Yes,
glad you're here.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Welcome. And it had a t-shirt and everything. I was like, I'm at home. It worked. And then, like I said, I'm originally from there. So, I
Yeah.
was able to bond with that side of my family that was left there. So, I mean, it worked. Worked out.
It has some bonuses there.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It
cool. I did not know that. Oh man. That okay. So you went Payne College, early education degree.
Mhm.
All right. So where did your career take off with your degree? Did you hop straight into education?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So you have to pass the GACE in order to start teaching at from Payne. They won't let you graduate without being certified, which
Okay.
is a pain in the ass because that test is not easy. And you're
Mm,
talking about all the senior qualifications plus trying to pass this multi-step test. It was rough. Like my senior year, it ended up being an extra year onto education major under their time because you need that year pretty much to pass this test. So me and my friends at this point, we lived in the I can't remember the name of it now. Uh it was it was a little building off the side back there tucked off in the corner. But it was a study center. And
mm,
Dr. Reed was her name. She helped us. She helped all of us. We had little individual rooms, and we had this thing down to a science. Everybody who took the gaze, we'd ask them, okay, what was your constructive response question? So we would write it down and cross it off because they rotate them so many times.
mm,
So we had, by the time my group did take it again, because some of us had to take twice. By the time we did take it, we kind of narrowed down some of the questions we were going to be asked. Because I tell you, my first one, Sherman's March, is why I had to take it again. Do not ask me. I don't even know who Sherman is. Okay. They asking me what was the significance of the Sherman's March. I just was start. I was just writing like they did. They say don't leave it blank. So in my essay, Sherman went to Savannah, then he turned and went to Columbus. He talked to some people over, and I had no idea. So like I said,
That's
that's when we
funny.
decided to kind of get together and like, okay, you got Sherman's March, you got women's suffrage, you got this. Now let's try to figure out what's the next ones because they don't give you the same questions.
Mm-hmm.
They rotate them. So after I finished taking Sherman around the state of Georgia, only to learn that he's the reason why Atlanta got rebuilt to the what it is. So embarrassing. Anyway,
Hey, at least you
listen,
answered the question.
listen.
Yeah.
I mean, he stayed in Georgia. I didn't take him to Alabama and Mississippi like I was headed, but I was like, he got to stay in Georgia. It's like that's the only purpose of this test. But yeah, he after we did that and we passed it, um, at that point, you know, they don't give you jobs. That's the misconception. You don't walk into a classroom. At
Okay.
that point, you got to figure out where you're going to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're going to stay in Georgia. I mean, Augusta, or most of us were from the city area or outside the city. So
Mm-hmm.
went back home, or you had some that went to, because I remember Nisi, she went back to Savannah for a little bit. A couple of my other friends went back to the Atlanta area, and I ended up in Fulton County because I was chasing the check, to be honest with you. I could have stayed in Augusta, easy, because my stepdad is like the mayor of Augusta, so I definitely could have stayed in Augusta and got a job there easy, but they didn't make enough money for me. I was chasing this high rise in my Mustang in the city of Atlanta. That's what I wanted. So I was like, well, gotta shoot big. So that's how I ended
Yeah.
up at Fulton County. But it took me a year to get a
Mm-hmm.
job because it was had a little situation. We won't get into it on
Yeah.
live, but I had a little situation that didn't allow me to get my certification right away. Had to
Gotcha.
jump through a few loops. So where I'm on year 8, some of my classmates are on year 9 because I had to take a year off to get my paperwork and stuff situated. But once I did, it took off from there. Like once I got a job, I have been working ever since. Thank you, Lord. But I started off in kindergarten, which
Mm.
was not where I wanted to be. Again, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, but I don't like children under the age of 8. I've learned that. Mm-mm,
Oh man, that's messed up.
mm-mm. And I had 25 5-year-olds.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. First year teacher. Um, we can go ahead and get into that. I'm past it now, but it's still a learning experience. So got to my first year of teaching, and I decided to go back and get my master's at the same time as my first year teaching. Never do that
Mm.
again either. That was
Yeah.
24-year-old Shana. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But so I'm in my first couple classes of my master's degree, first year teaching, and whew, my people worked at an all black school, and I mean all black from top to bottom. Everybody was black. Custodians, all the admin, all the aides, cafeteria. I think we had one Asian lady and maybe a couple biracial people, but that was about it. That's about it.
Yeah.
All of us, and we are the worst when it comes to supporting each other. The worst, the absolute worst. My first year was rough. I drank a lot. I
Mm.
drank a lot of alcohol. I drank, I
Mm.
drank a lot of alcohol. You ask my husband to this day, he said he saved me because I was in a bad space. Like I said, it was my first year. I did not want kindergarten, but I was just so hell bent on getting this job. I was like, all right, Shannon, just get in the door. They move teachers around all the time. You can get through first. 1 year of kindergarten. They're kindergartners, right?
Yeah.
Mm, they whooped my ass. Okay. I can admit that. They whooped my ass.
Yeah.
I had again 25.
Wow.
And there's supposed to be two teachers per every
I was.
15 students.
I thought
Supposed to
so.
be, yeah, it's supposed to be two. Just me. I had a less than cooperative aide at the time. Um, won't go into too much detail because I don't want to stir up nothing else. But yeah, it was an issue with
Mm.
and that's another thing that I think I'll address in my blog at some point. You have those women who are older but
Mm.
in a lower position, and they got this chip.
Mm.
I had a lady with a chip. She was old enough to probably be my mom, but she was my aide, and she had a problem with, just cooperating. Like, the aides, not to downplay their role, but if I'm the teacher and you're the aide, if I lay out A, B, and C, and you take A and B while I prepare for C, that's what I need you to do.
Yeah.
She didn't want to do that. I'm not taking them. I'm more than just a bathroom break taker, and I'm more than this and more than that. So I got a lot of pushback from her, and it ultimately resulted into her stop coming into the classroom, period. Like, she'd drop off her stuff and leave. So I'm in
Oh
this
wow.
classroom, first year teacher, and I have 25 children. Out of those 25, let's put them in groups. 5 have been crying since day one. They're in their group crying. They're over in the corner crying. Um, so I got 5 crying. Um, I have 7 who are stuck to me because they want hugs and Miss, at the time I was Jones, Miss Jones, and so I got 7 of them stuck to me. Um, other 3 are asleep. They don't go to sleep at night, so the other 3 are just taking naps, like they
Yeah.
sleep. And then I have one who decides he wants to run around my classroom, make an obstacle course. So let's just do that, So he's running around, jumping over stuff, and I'm supposed to teach them the alphabet. Like, I have curriculum that they have to learn before they leave, and this is what I have. And it was just it was rough. It was rough. And then I'd leave that to go to class.
Yeah.
I'm
Man.
sitting in class, damn near in tears, because I'm just thinking about how rough my day was. And then I'm supposed to flip over into student mode, and they're over there talking about all of these case studies. And I went home and I drank. I drank a lot. I'm telling you, like, what was it? E&J. That was,
Yeah.
mm, the bottle that has the handle on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was my
Oh man.
friend.
You was buying that sucker
E&J
by the leader.
and
Yeah.
vanilla Coke. I used to buy. That was part of my grocery list. Like, it was bad. It was really
Yeah.
bad. So yeah, that my first year was tough, and I almost was like, you know what, Lord, maybe this ain't it. Maybe
Yeah.
I should try something else. I, but then I got but I survived it, and I got moved to 3rd grade, and I stayed in 3rd grade for years. That was
Yeah.
I stayed in 3rd grade for like 6 years,
Gotcha. Okay.
which 3rd grade was intimidating in Georgia because that's one of those milestone grades where the kids have to
Mm.
pass in order to go to 4th grade.
Mm.
Okay, so add another layer of alcohol to that, because now I go to cooperative children, but now I got admin, like, data, test scores, what's wrong, and then you got teachers competing basically, because if your data is higher than you walking around with your chest puffed up because you feel like you just that, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, listen, I just want to get out of here. Like, I
Yeah.
just really want the kids to get home safely. Like, that's my goal. Like, I'm not really impressed about this teaching, about these tests. But when I go back to our Black folks, like we're tough on each other.
Yeah.
They almost made it a competitive environment, not in a positive way though.
Mm-hmm.
Staff meetings was a little tense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas parties, yeah, that didn't happen. Nobody
Yeah.
wanted to be around each other after, because you're at each other's throats for the most part. It's just teaching is
I-
pretty dog eat dog, that
yeah.
whole um for those who are in it, they know exactly what I'm talking about. You have to protect your ideas, you have to protect your strategies, even your stuff. Like teachers steal. Like you can lock your stuff up because you leave your room unlocked, and next thing you know, you like you've been robbed, and you trying to figure out like you missing markers, chart paper, like, and you think that small stuff that is
Mm-hmm.
gold in our world. Like you leave the markers
Wow.
that you want to, they're gone.
Yeah.
You know, you do a bulletin board, next thing you know, it's the same bulletin board, but on fifth grade hall. And you're like, wait a minute. Like, you just go, that's what we do. So, you
Yeah.
can't even really, it's tough. It's definitely a rough environment. But I will say, that having that rugged or that intense first start definitely built up the stamina I needed from when we went to Texas, because
Okay.
Texas was a whole other beast.
Yeah.
So, am I talking too much? I feel like I'm
No,
talking
no,
too
no.
much.
Nah. That's how it is. No, you're good. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. This is what this is about. Like, you know what I'm saying. They know me
Okay.
already. Just they get to know you and how your story can. I'm pretty sure some teachers like Garrett. Some teachers that you was talking probably was pulling some E and J. Like, I know exactly what you're going through.
Yeah, and then
You know.
COVID. Oh my gosh, I'll get to that. But yeah, like I said, working in a all black environment was something I did purposely. Because going from
Yeah.
you've been to Paine. Paine is you with your aunties and
Yeah.
uncles. You fried chicken Wednesdays and fried fish Fridays. You with your
Yeah.
peoples.
Yeah. For sure.
Chapel. You had your little coordinations. You had homecoming. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. So I was like, you know what? I feel like I would be, and then you make connections with children that look like you.
Hmm.
It's one of those things. White people can probably say the same. Like they get along with Becky and Jacob, where I get along with Daquan and Demarcus. Like
Yeah.
we speak the same language.
Gotcha.
So I purposely wanted to be in an all black environment. So I wasn't complaining. I'm not complaining or anything like that. I just know it's different, and I experienced that difference when we moved to Texas.
Mm.
So didn't move to Houston. No, because Houston is pretty much a bigger Atlanta. I love Houston. Moved to this small little space called Killeen.
Mm.
And inside of Killeen, whew, culture shock, big culture shock. It is a lot of our other kind, the opposite ends of the spectrum, and their practices. So, I'm Wakanda. I'm coming in like,
Mm.
hey, what's going on? And they're looking at me like, calm down. And it was rough. Like my first year, I did a lot of drinking then too. Um, I did a lot of drinking that first year. I cried a lot too because it was, like
Yeah.
I said, it was a culture shock. I had never worked around white people, to be honest with you. And I know that's probably crazy to say, but my first, like I said, going to Paine. So you're talking about 5+ years at college and then another 3 years in an all black school. That's 8 years of being around nobody but my own people.
Yeah.
And then naturally you hang out in the same spots that your cultural spot. So we did the whole uh, little sports bars, clubs, and that kind of stuff. You stay within your comfort zone. Well, going to Killeen, there was no comfort zone there. Um, and I was telling my husband, I was like, I've never worked around this many white people in my life. I was so out of pocket. I was so
Yeah.
out of place. So, and I'll tell you an example of what I'm talking about. So my interview, I initially, when we moved to Texas, I was like, you know what? I'm giving up teaching. I'm gonna go be a manager at Starbucks. Like, I don't want to do this because, like I said, that last experience was just so
Mm-hmm.
intense. I was a stay-at-home wife for a week, and I was like, nope, not gonna do it. It's not working. So I got online. I started filling out the application. I didn't even fill out the application with the intent of getting interviews. I literally got interviews almost hours after I submitted the application. Like, I was getting interview calls or emails offering interviews. I was like, well, damn, okay. Um, Still not taking it serious. I was just like, all right, well, I'll go on the interviews and we'll see. Funny thing is, when the Army moves you, so I'm an Army spouse for those who don't know. When the Army moves you, you probably will get to your house before your stuff gets there.
Mm.
So we're there with the things that we packed in our car. So I don't have interview clothes. I don't have professional clothes. I got t-shirts and shorts. So I'm going around this new city trying to find interview clothes. It's crazy. Got a couple of outfits that I can switch out, to go to these different interviews. End up getting one over the phone because I don't think the principal was aware that I was already in Texas. So over the phone, they ask you all those ambiguous. So tell me about yourself. That I hate that question. God, I hate that question. So I was like, well, what do you want to know? She's like, so where are you from? And what was your last teaching experience like? And so I told her, I'm from Georgia. Just finished my fourth year or my third year teaching third grade in College Park, Georgia, which is where my school was. And the principal said, oh, you don't sound like you're from that area at all. I'm sorry,
Excuse
what?
me. What happened?
My
What you say?
day.
Let me turn the phone up.
I'm sorry, what? She said, you don't sound like you're from the area at all. Now, had I been in her face, I would have stood up and shook her hand and told you thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because what the hell does somebody sound like that area? Please tell me. Like, could you give me an example? I'm not.
Yeah.
What does sound like that
What
area mean?
yeah, like, what is that supposed to sound like to you, ma'am? Yeah.
Like the audacity.
Yeah.
It's that white privilege. Because she knew, like, no, had she interviewed this Shana, she would not have had me on her roster. But I
Yeah.
was, you know, in a new environment, I've always been taught to come into something new humble. You don't come in biting people. So my face, I didn't know what else to say. I was just like, okay, so proceeded with the interview and I ended up actually working at this school because it was the closest to what I was used to. It was a big school. It's pretty diverse population. So ended up getting called in for a second interview because like I said, she didn't know I was in the area. So once I told her I was here, she was like, oh, come on in. So I scheduled an interview, ended up getting a job at the school.
Hmm.
And that's where I stayed up until we left Texas last year. But yes, so cultural shock there. My first year, it took me to, I'll say December to kind of
Okay.
really understand how they operate. Now they are some crafty people, I'll to our advantage, and to our giving us credit. Most black people, you kind of know up front what you're dealing with. You know,
Yeah.
that one, not to piss her off because she will mess up your paperwork. Auntie over there, you make her mad, she just ain't gonna she gonna ignore you. You
Yeah.
kind of know who you're dealing with because you've grown up around these characters because it's the same characters. You got your cool admin, you got your cool custodian, you got your lady in the cafeteria who you cool with. You have those same characters. Them, I don't know. It was weird because
Hmm.
they're very passive aggressive,
Okay.
and I don't operate that way. You know me. I'm kind of a straight shooter. I'm not really about to go around beat around the bush. We got an issue. I'm gonna be professional, but you're not gonna leave not knowing what the problem was. Um, they're different. They're I got calls to the office a lot, And before she called me to the office, she complimented me on my dress. And that's confusing to me. Like, oh my
Mm.
gosh, Miss Sims, I love your dress. Can you come see me? What?
Yeah.
Like, I thought we was cool. Like, what I do? Like, you just said you like my dress, and now you want me to come see you. Or, you know, they they're computer gangsters, is what I call them. You know,
Mm.
love your dress. You know, like, your hair looks really nice. Is that yours? You know, those types of questions. Um, and then you get this nasty email 15 minutes later from the same person about something that you just saw me. Like, I don't understand. So that was rough. That was an
Yeah.
adjustment because my principal in Georgia loved him to death. He gave me my first job, so he'll always have respect in my book. But I loved how he operated. And men work differently than women anyway. I've learned that I will work for a man principal before I work for a female principal. Nothing
Mm.
against my fellow species, but we're messy. We're very emotional creatures, and we are very petty,
Mm.
very petty. So just having that contrast, working for my male principal up front, you know, the beginning, and then switching to a female principal, I definitely prefer males because they're
Yes.
cut and dry. You know, like
Yeah.
y'all fight each other, have beer and wings later. We
Yeah.
women, we fight each other. We don't speak for 3 years, and it be over the smallest things. That's pretty much
Yeah.
how the workplace went with that. You
Wow.
know, I think I got in trouble. I told you my first year was rough. I got called to the
Mm.
office every single day for like months for something.
No.
Didn't do my attendance, you know. Why were the children in the corner crying all day? You know, what was the problem with over here? This parent is concerned because they don't know the out, like, just whatever it was, it was. And at that time, I had a female appraiser who, ugh, to this day, if I see her, but you know, be nice. But you know, so that experience, my first year at that black school, definitely prepped me for the level of BS,
Hmm.
but not
Okay.
the culture difference. So I was prepared for the level of BS. Like, I had learned to professionally cuss somebody out very quickly. Like, I was good at that, and I perfected that. But it's the cultural difference that I didn't understand. Like, Black History Month, let's just go there. Um, Coming from my black school, it was a thing. January 31st, they're putting up Martin Luther King, Kente cloth, like, so that February 1, you walking into this experience. And it's the
Yeah.
whole, we had wax museums, we had little quizzes that they did over the intercom. They even tried to serve like African style foods in the cafeteria. Like, it was a whole thing. I think I got to February 10th before I realized it was February at this particular school. I'm like,
Mm.
it's February. Like, where's the African drums? Where, you know,
Yeah.
where are the praise dancers? Where's the
Yeah.
kente cloth? Where, I mean, even give me the handful Martin Luther King, Sojourner Truth, Rosa
Yeah.
Parks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing.
Give me
Nothing.
the top
Nothing.
five. Give me the top five y'all normally use.
Yes, come on. You know, I have a dream speech. Something. Nothing. They did nothing. So my heart is broken because I'm like, I have black kids in my class, and I'm trying to figure out, like, where's their history? Because of course, you know, you got the Anglo-Saxon stuff built into the curriculum. So we're learning about the Columbus, the Christopher Columbuses. We're learning about all of these different Paul Revere's, and you know, we're learning about all of them. But where are the other part of the history? You know, it's
Mm.
not here. So I asked my principal, you know, y'all do anything for Black history? Is that something that's recognized? And she told me it was to the teacher's discretion.
Mm.
There were 5 Black teachers at that school at that time. I was like, so can you imagine the discretion that's taking place? Because
Mm.
nothing. So my first year, I stuck out like a sore thumb because I'm putting up bulletin boards. I'm building the African American history into the curriculum that probably
Mm.
didn't match. Whatever. I feel like, like All right, fine. If you're
Uh,
gonna slap me on the wrist for teaching the other side of the spectrum, then fine. I was
yeah.
willing to do that. But with that, like I said, I got a lot of, can you come see me, please? Like, so,
Wow, that's crazy, man. Let's
yeah.
go to the teacher discussion. I think and I lived in Mississippi for a while, and
Mm.
I think
You know how I feel about Mississippi. Mm-mm.
they came a long way. They got
Mm.
they got a few hills to climb. They moving in the right direction. I think is it Martin Luther King birthday is also some way they was able to work it to where because I know what you're going through because I think it was Martin Luther King birthday where they like it was Martin Luther King birthday and a Confederate holiday the same celebration on the same day.
See what I'm
So I'm
talking
looking
about?
like I'm
That
looking like
cancels everything out. What do you mean?
yeah. I'm looking like
No.
this is interesting. Like it was what I'm saying. It's like I saw it like on a flyer or something. It was some kind of local statewide Memorial Day they had set aside. I'm looking like, now y'all know this particular Monday. I always go to Martin Luther King, so y'all
Don't put
couldn't
it
do
on there
like
though. You gonna put it on the
yeah,
program.
yeah. Man,
Mm-mm.
I'm looking like, mm, this
It's,
is
oh,
yeah.
and
So
then
poor Colleen.
yeah, and then so that was my first year. My second year, again, stayed in the same grade level, but I realized too that in my, in giving credit to my start, the school that I started in, being in that competitive environment, and this is something that the principal time who hired me said. He said, if you can excel here, he said, if you're average here, you'll be a star at your next school. That's how confident and about that he was. He was like, if you can be average here, you'll excel other places.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand what that meant at the time, but going to another environment, I definitely got that because that environment instills a work ethic, even though it's competitive and even though it's tough,
Hmm.
you don't settle. You know what I'm saying? Everything you turn in, I's are dotted, T's are crossed, is professional, is above and beyond. It's top quality stuff. So I also learned that the other side of the spectrum don't work as hard as we do. And that kind of pissed me off a little bit, because I'm coming from this environment. That's all I know. That's how I was groomed. That's the kind of teacher I've been groomed to be. So I'm staying late, making copies, making sure that this is together. And these people are leaving work at home, leaving work at work. 3:30 when the bell rings, they're leaving. I'm still in here trying to figure out what we're doing the next day. And it bothered me because I'm like, why am I doing all of this for the same check that these people are doing? So I'm just like, I got the recipe wrong. So, I had to step back and kind of observe, and I realized they don't work as hard as we do. And I don't know if that's, kind of been the disadvantage that we always have to deal with
Hmm.
we have to work twice as hard to be equal. You get what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't I don't know if that was if that was the atmosphere. I don't that's the climate. I don't really know how to describe it, but that's kind of how I was feeling. So when I noticed that I was working harder than everybody else and not getting the recognition that my hard work was getting, I kind of backed off a little bit, and I was a little vocal about that. I'm like, hey, why is I'm getting, I'm doing this, and this, and you're not even recognizing it when you come into doing an observation, but you have me observing this teacher who leaves every day at 3:30. I don't understand that, and of course that put me in another, I guess you could say I got labeled as a troublemaker because I didn't and I've never been this type of person. I'm not going to say yes to something that I don't understand or I don't agree
Yeah.
with. Like if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm not signing off on it.
Yeah.
So I questioned a lot of what I was told to do. Why? Like not trying to be defiant, But why? Like, if you can't give me a
No.
why, I'm not doing it. Like, we want you to put up a word wall for what? Like, if they have journals with their words in it, why am I spending an extra hour after school putting up a word wall? She don't have a word wall. Well, we want a
No.
print rich environment. I understand that, but is that a standard across the board, or you're making me do extra work? And so I got labeled the eye roller. Funny.
Yeah. You? No. No
Me,
way.
and by year two, I kind of learned how to play their game. So,
Mm.
like I said, I got called to the office a lot, and we have these things where we meet weekly with the admin team. And like I said, I'm new to not only this city, but I'm new to this curriculum. I learned Georgia stuff.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what Texas history is. I don't know anything about the Alamo. I don't know anything about Sam Houston. None of that. I don't know what you're talking about. I got my teacher's edition in my hand as I'm teaching them this stuff. I don't know anything about it. So not only do I am new to the curriculum, I'm new to their practices too, because Texas is a whole country by themselves. Like, they do what they want. They do what they want. They're not a part of any type of union. All of their school districts are independent school districts, which means they make up their own rules. So
Wow.
Colleen can be out of school where Austin ISD is in school. As long as it's within their budget and everybody in that circle agrees, they do what they want, which is new for me because, Texas
Mm.
is, Georgia state ran. So what
Yeah.
the state says, everybody has to
I
do.
do.
That
Yeah.
was another difference. So, I don't know anything about this curriculum enough to be making comments in meetings. And I have another female appraiser, and she liked to poke the bear until I bit, and then I got labeled as the angry. Grr, she did it. She got me. She got me.
Yeah.
So we're in these meetings, and they're just talking away. Yeah. So we did this last year, and then we can do. Oh, we can. They're just throwing ideas around, and I'm just sitting. I'm observing. Miss Sims, do you have anything you want to contribute? I don't. Like, leave me alone. Like, I'm chilling. I'm not bothering nobody. I came here on time.
Yeah.
I'm watching. Like, leave me alone. So that went on the whole school year, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, what the hell is your deal, lady? Leave me alone. So, like I said, having dealt with that same kind of antagonization from my first set of principles and stuff, I was ready for this side. So, I had my professional sarcastic answers ready. Like,
Mm.
I don't. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But then I got labeled the eye roller because every time she'd call my name, I guess I'd roll my eyes. You know, I've been doing it all my life. So she pulled me to the side and she's like, "Do you know that you roll your eyes every time I talk to you?" I said, "I do. I'm so sorry." Like, get out of my face.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
disrespectful.
listen, I'm not a kid. Like, stop that. That's how
Yeah.
I felt. I felt like they treated me like a kid because I definitely did not buy into the BS. I just
Yeah.
didn't. So I only stayed there 3 years. And that last
Okay.
year, I pretty much ran out of there at that point. I was just like, you know what? I had packed all my stuff. I just knew the Lord was going to deliver me from that, or I was going to Starbucks. Like I said, I've been trying to
Yeah.
be a manager at Starbucks now since I started this thing. Like, I'm getting out of here. So I had packed all my stuff. I had taken it home. Like, the last week of school where the kids are gone, but the teachers still have to be there, my classroom was completely empty. I had nothing in it but my laptop on the table.
Wow.
There's like,
You ready?
where are your, there's like, where's your stuff? Did you move classrooms? I said, it's at home. I'm not coming back here. Like, I can't come back here. And it's like, do you have a transfer? Nope. It's
Yeah.
like, so you're
No.
just, yeah, like, I am stepping out on faith here because if Jesus don't deliver me, I'm leaving and I'm going to
Yeah.
Starbucks. You'll see me in the mornings when you get your coffee because I can't do this. It was just, it was just toxic. Like, uh, just
Yeah.
like I said, the cultural differences is just we didn't, that just wasn't a good place. So luckily I got transferred, but that wasn't the best transfer either. Like, They did even less work at this place.
Oh
I
man. Oh,
was
you,
just
you
like,
started you started on the wrong side of things.
it's like, what
Yeah.
are y'all doing? Like, it was a chill environment. Don't get me wrong. And sometimes you need that slow pace to kind of just breathe. But what are y'all doing? It had gotten to the point where I don't work well with others. I've learned that about myself. I don't like team projects. Um, I don't like group nothing. Nothing. Let me just give me my instructions, let me struggle, figure it out, and I bring what I got. But I
Yeah.
don't like, let's go meet up in such and such as room and let's talk about no, no,
Yeah.
let's not. Can I just get my part of it and I'll be back? Like that's pretty much what I don't like it.
Yeah.
And like I said, going into this my last school, which is where I worked before we moved here, I also didn't fit in there. I honestly didn't even think I was going to get the job because, like I said, after I left all my stuff at home and I had this empty classroom for a week, I had went and got my summer hairdo, like I mean some braids. I had just completely given up. I was just like, you know what? Whatever. Teaching is, I can always get another job later. But I had got my summer hair. Um, I just was in bucket mode, if you would
Yeah.
say. I was just like, whatever, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So when I got the interview for the school that I currently used to work at, I didn't think I was gonna get the job because I had box braids. So I'm looking like something from the 1990s, definitely very ethnic. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
oh well, I'm not gonna get this job, but I'm gonna go. Because when I
Yeah.
walked into the room, everybody was vanilla. And I'm talking all shades of vanilla. You had the strawberry vanilla, you had the rocky roads, but everybody was vanilla. And I'm walking in with these box braids with beads
Yeah.
on. I'm like, well, won't get this one. That's the same thing I said. I was like, oh, well, just go through the motions here, but I won't be working here because everybody's looking at me like, oh my God. Like they looking at me, I'm looking at them. So,
Yeah.
but I answered the questions, and an hour later, they offered me the job. I was shocked. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But that's exactly how I felt the entire time I worked there. Like the status quota. You know how they have to have so many of us in the
Yeah.
building?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy. I was that last check box. So,
Like guys, we need to fund it. So
but hey, we gotta have five. We gotta have five. Call her back. She'll do. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
So,
hilarious.
yeah. So I get the job, and like I said, it was a change of speed because going from I went from high, medium to low as
Yeah.
far as the progress and the work ethic. Like they're different. They're just so different. I don't know if we're extra because we can be a little much. So I
Yeah.
don't know if we're just extra and they're not. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was it was almost aggravating to watch them operate because it's like you're doing unnecessary things. Like you remember. Oh, I don't know if you follow TikTok, but you know that guy that they'll show you two things. They'll have somebody using a device to open up this jar, and then he'll just pick it up and go. He'll, that was me. That was me. I swear. It's like, oh my gosh, we can do this, and we can do that. I'm like, or you can do this. Same
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like, oh wow, can you set that
Yeah.
up for us? No, thank you.
Yeah.
And then now I'm not a team player, but it's like, no, like
Yeah.
why are you not able to do this? So yeah, so like I said, I stuck out there too. I stayed in my
Yeah.
room because they were weird. They were a little
Yeah.
weird. Um,
But you made it
you
through.
know, yeah, but they were weird. They
Yeah.
did stuff like, um, or I won't say weird. I'll take that back. Their priorities were a
Okay. Yeah.
little different.
Yeah.
I feel like if we're in the middle of because this is where I experienced COVID with them. Um, We were fine up until March, which is where it hit everybody and everybody had to shut down. But that was my first year at the school. So we did it went from March because we got out right when spring break hit. So spring break hit, and then it kept extending 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, and then that's when it pretty much is said. So we never went back after spring break, but prior to that, they were, before we got out, they would do stuff like, we're gonna pull two fifth grade teachers and have them play music for the small kids in the cafeteria. But then we're going to split those two teachers' kids amongst the rest of the fifth grade. So now we have these crowded fifth grade classes. So these two teachers can go play music in the cafeteria for the little kids. I'm sorry, what? Fifth grade has to pass this test to go to sixth grade. Why are we playing the drums and the piano during a work day? Stuff like that. And it's just, are y'all not worried? Like, are y'all good? Like, y'all know a recipe I don't know? Are y'all? Because that's another thing. They don't share they share amongst themselves. I'll say that. So I didn't get the recipe. I had to figure it out.
Gotcha. You was making sweet potato pie, they was in there making pumpkin pie. I got you.
Right, with no crust, like no crust. So it's just straight pumpkin stuff, and I'm over here trying to figure out.
You spending the whole day just on your dough alone. You trying to make sure the dough's sitting in the pan right, and they ain't even looking like.
They outside playing the banjo, chilling, and I'm trying to something I don't know. So, that was another struggle that I had. I had to kind of force my way into their little circle, and sometimes it wasn't nice. Sometimes it was not friendly because I was just getting irritated at this point. Y'all expect me to be a part of this team, but then y'all are going to lunch, walking straight past my classroom. Hey, Sims, we're going to lunch. You want
nothing?
Nope. And my classroom was right outside of where we parked, because our hallway was right on the end. So it didn't make sense to park in the staff parking lot on the other side of the school. We just parked right here on the curb. I would watch them all pile in the car and leave. Leave me. I'm the only one that didn't get lunch. I didn't get the lunch memo. No one asked me. And I'm telling you, they had to walk past my class to get out of the building and to come back into the building. Nobody stopped by and said, hey, you want to grab a sandwich with us? Nothing. So it's hard not to take that kind of stuff personal when it's just you. You get what I'm saying? And then I'm the only Black one on the team, and I'm having all of these uphill battles to try to feel a part of the team. So it's hard not to take that kind of stuff personal. My mom was like, well, go talk to the principal. Well, our principal looks like Paula Dean. So do you really think that's going to help?
No, my girl, like, Paula.
Yeah, she's sweet. Principal's sweet as pie. She does remind me of Paula Dean. I think I told her that, and she laughed. But no, that I was like, Ma, it's not going to help anything. She's the captain of their team. Like, that doesn't work. Doesn't work. Yeah. So, like I said, sometimes I had to kind of just call them out on the carpet. I'm like, hey, I eat Zaxby's. Yeah, could have got me a wings and things, like, what's going on? Like, but you want me to come into your room and help you brainstorm, and you want me to help you come up with curriculum, but you're not trying to build the other half of that team. Team building. You don't want that partnership. You want me to help you do the work, but you don't want to build the other side of it. Well, one side meets the other side to make me want to be bothered. Where you just want me for my ideas and things that I brought from Georgia, because the school I went from in Georgia was a little bit faster than where I came from. So I'm bringing things that they're just now starting. Like when when COVID hit and they were doing the whole online, all that online, I had already done a professional development on that. So I was the only one on my team who knew how to do it.
Wow.
Well, of course, Everybody's knocking down my door. Sims, how do you do this? Sims, how do you do that? I'm sorry. You can go finish your lunch. Like, but and that's the part of it that I didn't like. And that's
Yeah.
where the cultural difference, I think, came into play, because it's like, you're gonna jail with who you jail with. I get that. But at least amongst your people, you have commonalities that make it a little easier. Well,
Mm-hmm.
with them, it was just as opposite as we could be, but you find you figure out a way to get in my room and to make conversation when you need something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that I was over at that point. Like, I was over that. So I had a coworker. I promise you, I know he voted for Trump. I know he did. I know he did. And he probably called us niggas at home, or lacoons, or whatever they call us at the house. I know we were not African American when he went home. I know we were. But he always managed to find a way in my room. And he never just come in to ask what he's asking for. He's coming in and scanning, looking to see what he can take, looking to see what kind of ideas I'm working on now. It never fails. And I said, "What you looking for?" I just call him. What you looking for? Oh, I see you got yeah. Where'd you get that from? The store. Couldn't tell him. Couldn't tell him where, because he'd go get it. That's another thing. They'll go get it. And you like, we got the same. Yeah, I went and got it when you told me where you got it from. Anyway, so yeah, that's
Oh,
Texas.
oh, that's hilarious.
So
Yeah. All
I was
right.
very
That's
so once
funny.
I got pregnant during the whole COVID shutdown thing. I was
Mm-hmm.
one of those people I picked at, because I was talking all kinds of shit. I was like, all these women getting pregnant, y'all need to go somewhere and read a book. Like, talking so much trash. I was
Yeah.
like, see, another one, that COVID babies. Y'all need to chill out. Got my ass pregnant the whole time we was in lockdown, which wasn't a bad thing. I didn't mind the
Yeah.
quarantine, but got me. So when I
Yeah.
got close to my due date, I was glad to tell them goodbye.
Yeah.
And let me tell you how much they missed me. So I was very transparent with my principal. I told her, hey, we were supposed to be moving in December anyway. So it all just kind of fell into place. So I told her, my last day is going to be October. I'm going to give myself the month of November, because I wasn't due until December. So I was like, I'm going to give myself the month of November to relax, keep my feet, just kind of nest, let Muffin cook the last couple of weeks and, go from there. So I told her when we got back to school in July, August, I told her, hey, I'm leaving. I'll let you know exactly when, but I'm just letting you know now. You need to kind of start looking for my replacement, whatever that looks like. Because at this point, we were just kind of going day by day, week by week. Because one week you can wear a mask, kids can come to the building. Next week, no kids. We had to be in the building by ourselves, and it was just a bunch of back and forth. So, as the time got closer, Ruben told me, hey, we got dates. We started getting hard dates as far as moving. So I was able to give her a hard last date. So I was like, you know what? I'll end October, give myself the month of November, and then she'll come in December. So when I quit, these people who I've worked with for the past 3 years, gave me a card. It had nothing in it. I didn't get a gift card. They didn't throw me a little mock baby shower. Nothing. It's how much they missed me. It's how
Wow.
much I was valued.
Yeah.
Now, prior to that, a pre-K teacher got pregnant. Now, mind you, it wasn't COVID still. How they did it, they could have done it that way for her. That's the same way they did for me. They put out a
Yeah.
table. They had the little girl's name. They had bowls where grade levels can drop off gifts. I contributed to the fifth grade gift for this particular woman. For me, my grade level got me a card that they probably found at somebody's desk.
Yeah.
Everybody signed it, and that was that.
Wow.
So,
Jeez. Dang,
so
Colleen.
that's So that's how much they miss me. So I was like, oh wow. Like that I took personal because I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, I was very transparent. I didn't have to be as open and honest as I was. Cause that's my business. I could just
Hmm.
told you I'm leaving. It's my last day. Like I didn't have to give her any details of military moves that I was making. I didn't have to do that, but I felt like as a professional and as somebody practicing to be a principal, I just was the type of employee that I would want on my staff,
Yeah.
be open and let me know. So, I don't get blindsided.
Hmm.
That was not appreciated. She basically said, "Oh, okay." So my last day, I didn't get cake, I didn't get ice cream, I didn't get a
Yeah.
balloon,
Nothing.
nothing. Nothing. They gave me an empty card and said good luck. And of course you get all the empty, "Oh, we'll call you, keep in touch, send us pictures." And I gave them back the okay, knowing damn
Yeah.
well I'm not sending them nothing. They're not gonna call me. I'm not gonna call, like, this is the end of our communication,
Yeah.
which fine with me, but it just goes to show
Jeez.
it was superficial. It was
Yeah.
a superficial partnership, which I hate those. I
Yeah.
didn't, that's one thing about working at the school in Georgia that we didn't have that. I'm still friends with some people that I work with today, because I just feel like it's just a cultural thing. Like you just connect and you bond over certain things. Like even though we went through COVID together, that did nothing,
Yeah.
but the friends I made some friends at Colleen. I won't say that, but it was at the other school, but they were still Black women, it
Yeah.
just, and I'm friends with them to this day. They were the ones who ended up giving me a baby shower. I didn't work with them
Yeah.
anymore, but they were the ones that kept in touch to give me the baby shower. So it's just crazy. So that was the cultural shock between Georgia
Good
and
in Texas.
now we're
Yeah.
here in Missouri. I refuse to give them any of my education. I refuse. I refuse to give them any of my expertise. I live there's a school up here I can walk to. There's a school behind me that I pass going in and out this building. I just can't. For one, they make pennies. And it's not about the money, but it's
Yeah.
about the money. They make crumbs. And then I just refuse.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, not even gonna waste my talents.
No,
And
no,
then
don't do it.
to show you how over it I was, when I left Texas, I left everything. Whoever got my classroom got a completely put together classroom. I left everything.
Wow.
I took I took my pictures.
Yeah.
I had pictures. I took my pictures and my coffee maker.
That's it.
That's it. They got everything else. All my resources, all of the stuff that was on the wall, all the decorations. I left all of that. I was just done.
Yeah. Yeah. That.
So yeah.
Hmm. So
So
you. So yeah. That's. Yeah.
I just
That's
was
tough.
over
There.
it. I was just
Yeah.
I just was over it. And then, I knew I wasn't going to be working with the baby. I want to definitely stay home with her. And that honestly has worked out because of COVID and now Delta variant and all that kind of stuff. So, that's worked, but they got a fully functioning classroom to find out they didn't even replace me. So those ungrateful people went in there and robbed my classroom of whatever resources that they
Yeah.
wanted. They didn't even fill my position.
What's that movie? I'm not. I'm lacking in my black movie experience. There's a movie.
Mhm.
It's like Coming to America, right? That's a movie with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall when they leave their luggage outside.
Yeah,
They go upstairs,
that's
look at
what
the
happened.
apartment. Yeah, they come
That's
outside. They
exactly
got
what happened. When they didn't fill my position and they
yeah,
split my kids up, that's exactly what happened. They went in there snatching stuff because it was quality stuff. Like I said, markers, chart paper, staplers, rolling carts. Those are gold in the
yeah,
education world. And I left all of that. So I know they were already, put my name on that one. I'll take that
yeah,
one. Give me that. No, you got two of those. Give me this one. I know they were auctioning off my shit.
yeah.
No, they did.
They didn't give you no commission on top. They didn't give you none of that commission.
No, didn't even, like I said, I didn't even give a gift card. Like we worked up the street from a Walmart. Y'all could have got me a fucking
Yeah,
$50
listen,
gift
yeah,
card, $5 a piece. Come on now.
Yeah.
I worked with 5 people. They could have did $5 a piece, gave me a $50 gift card, something to say
Mhm.
we liked you a little bit.
Yeah. The one thing I learned is that like you have a group of them, and like some of them, like let's say I have a group of 10. About 3 of them gonna have like good morals, and like they will lower them.
2.
Oh, sorry, 2 will have good morals. They will lower themselves to fit in with the other 8. So like what is what I'm saying, looking like I have that what I'm saying experience a lot, looking like why are you trying to dumb yourself down to fit in with them? Obviously, like you can find better friends with your same what I'm saying morals and mindset. Yet for whatever reason you stuck on these 8. Like what is it about them? Something like you see it all the
Well,
time. Like yeah, I can tell.
for the
Hmm.
group that I ran with, it was 3 that controlled the climate.
Yeah.
One of them was the one I was talking about, who don't call us black people when he go home. The other one, um, his entire family worked at the school. His wife was 4th grade. His dad was special ed. His mom used to work in the cafeteria. He's down here. So he felt like him and the principal
Yeah.
were on first name basis. So he had that job security. That was the other one. And then the other one was this lady who worked my last. She was so hyper. You ever met somebody that's
Yeah.
just, oh my God, what are we doing? Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 7:45. Like, calm down. Or she's
Yeah.
one of those people that complain to fish for compliments, like, oh my gosh, I woke up this morning and I look so ugly. And you're like, if I didn't know any better, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, you look amazing. I looked at her like, yeah, you could have did a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. At least you're honest with yourself.
Right. Like, yeah, like I understand. We all have those moments, and I walk away
Yeah.
because like I don't have time. So she's super needy, but those 3, ironically, controlled the climate of the team. Because of course it was me, the eyeball out. So you don't even count
Yeah.
me. You had another one, um, you had another 2, because it was 7 of us all together. So 6, I could take me out. Those 3, you had another lady who was a tumbleweed. She was a wild card. And then you had 2 that were conjoined at the hip because they both, like, one supported the other one. Like they were
Mm.
always covered for each other. But that was a dynamic. So I didn't even have a group to identify with at all, because those 3 that control the climate got on my nerve. And the other 2,
Yeah.
they was always doing some sneaky stuff. You didn't even know what they were doing. You just saw them either leaving
Yeah.
or coming back. Like, where
Yeah.
y'all coming from? Oh, we went to the
Yeah.
we went to, y'all ain't tell nobody? No, we just left. Oh, okay.
Mm.
Like it was we did Starbucks runs, because this is another difference. Like they could leave the building during their we call it conference time, during your little
Yeah.
break. They could leave the building. They're taking Starbucks orders. One person to go get it. Everybody, you send your mobile orders, one person to go get it. It took me, I started working in August. I didn't get included to the Starbucks runs till about January. No idea that they were going to Starbucks. Nobody asked me, nothing. Nope. Hey, we're doing a Starbucks run. You want anything? You can go ahead and put your order. I had to pretty much catch the conversation in the hallway and include myself. I was like, oh, you going to Starbucks? Oh, yeah, well, we were going. I said, oh, I put my order in too. Like,
They
don't
probably thought
have
you was a
me.
Dunkin' Donuts, type person. They didn't
I
think you
don't
did stuff.
care if they thought I was McDonald's McCafe. You ask me. You don't do
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, it's like,
But you want me to be excited to come to your classroom and communicate
yeah.
about this. Like, it works hand in hand. And I think I had to pretty much just call them out and explain. I was like, you guys want me to be a part of the conversation, but you're not making me a part of the team, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
Like, you're leaving
You
me
want
out.
you want my wisdom, but you don't want me. Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm like, I said, slavery's over.
Yeah.
Like, we're not, you're not about to steal my stuff and put your name on it. You got the right one for that.
Yeah.
Which is that pretty much was the synopsis of that time there. Like you said, they wanted my information, they wanted my wisdom, but they weren't interested in me.
Yeah.
And I peeped that. And that's fine if that's how you feel, but just know anything I give you is gonna come with a price at this point. Like, it's not even on good faith. It's like, oh, okay, so if I give you this, what are we doing? What are you doing? What are you
Yeah,
bringing? If I bring the bread, you got the meat. Like, what's going on?
yeah, I
I got the
understand.
sodas, you got the mashed potatoes. Like, yeah, we're not. It's an even exchange at this point. It's not even on, good faith, one teacher to the next, because it wasn't that type of vibe.
Wow.
And
That,
but you couldn't tell them when we got in the staff meetings. Oh my gosh, fifth grade rocks. Sure, sure does. Sure does. And they're like,
oh,
and a few of the other teachers who kind of knew that team. One lady, um, she approached me, and I thought this was crazy because she called it. And I try to give people their own chance to mess up with me. I try not to go into a situation based off somebody else's experience, because me and you might not have the issue. Like,
yeah,
hey, don't mess with Jordan. He this, he that, he that. Well, he ain't never did nothing to me.
yeah,
So I'm not gonna go in like, I ain't fooling with you, because me and you might not have an issue. So I try to approach, new situations that way.
mhm,
So but she called it. I give her credit. She called it. She was like, "You got on the fifth grade team?" She's like,
yeah,
"Well, good luck." I was like, "What do you mean by that?" She was like, "I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna just tell you now. Just good luck." And she called it. Like, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. It wasn't as bad as it has been in my past, but it was not the easiest thing either. It wasn't as pleasant,
yeah,
as it appeared to be. Like, on paper, of course, I'm professional. I'm not gonna be causing drama.
yeah,
But you're my baby. She's
yeah,
up.
yeah. Like, I think I got that muffin. You need mommy time. I get it. I get it. Mommy's coming. Mommy's wrapping up.
Yeah,
This is
she's
this is
daddy.
part
Give me
one. Yeah.
daddy.
Bye, daddy. Enough of you, mommy.
She's ready. But yeah, so it was just like I said, it was just different. So I did say, if we did end up back in Texas, because what I'm hearing is once you get to Texas, you somehow or another go back.
Yeah.
I do know that will not be a school that I apply
Yeah.
for again.
Gotcha. I understand, man. But I appreciate you. Um, man, that's yeah, yeah. I did not know. Like I say, the whole education field, that cutthroat, that dog
Oh
eat
yeah.
dog world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, growing up, I knew teachers from church, and then the teachers that see, I was the type of student where I wanted to make sure you was giving my colleagues a great education experience. So I would
Hmm.
put my own self on the chopping block to push buttons and the push you to your
You got put
limits
out
to
a
make
lot.
sure.
You got put out a lot. Hmm.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I.e. boarding school. That's how I ended up there. But it's all for them.
Oh, yeah, you know what? You're the person who I didn't think black people sent their kids to boarding school. I really didn't. I thought that was just like a rich white people thing. Like, hey, you know what? I
No,
can't deal with you.
no,
You're rough.
no,
Go. And then
no,
they just send a
no.
check.
You just saw the graduation. Nah,
Hmm.
like, nah,
Good
we was
job, son. You made it.
yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah. I think the school I went to is probably about 150, 180 students a school year, and yeah, we were the pick of the litter. Yeah, we would give you a run for your money.
And I know they gave
Oh
them teachers a stipend. I know they got
man, boy.
stipends.
And then, like you said, to this day, man, like that was like what, seventh to 11th grade, seventh to 10th grade for me. I
Hmm.
got teachers to this day, man. Like I still stay in contact with. You know what I'm saying? Like it was one of the best things my parents could have, they did for me. And so
You
that's
know
why
you
I
have
like,
the ones that care and the ones who
yeah,
just want you out their room. And those are the ones that you perform for, the ones that you know who care. You
yeah,
you want to please them. So if that'll make Miss Jackie happy, I do it.
yeah,
That kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, man. And I love the band. Like when I met you, you know, what I'm saying I was going to school. I thought I was going to do the education thing. That was my goal.
ooh, buddy.
Uh, well, yeah, society kind of weeded me out. Like
Well,
when
no,
I
it
was
ain't
children,
society. No, no.
ah,
Don't blame that on
yeah,
society now. Because some of your choices, son. Like I said, when
what you,
I met Bo. And for those who
yeah,
don't know, Bo, Matthew, and Jordan are three different people.
I
And
can
they
see that.
range from 0 to 100.
Yeah, I can see
He
that.
was somewhere between 85 and 95 when I met him, and I was just like, "Oh my, who is this guy?" Like, yeah, that's like because I really don't even understand or remember how we kept in touch. But I know when I met you, I was like, "Yeah, buddy, he is not. I'm getting in trouble with him. Let me move." So I would see you and then see you not. I was like, "All right, then, I'm gonna holler at you because you on some other shit. Let me go." So
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
don't even
man.
remember how we kept in contact, but I know when I did first meet you, I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
buddy's tripping." Yeah.
It made me
But
wonder
be
too. So it's
nice,
like, let me just
be
see what
nice
he
to
gonna turn
those
out in 10 years. Yeah, 'cause I don't
guys.
think he
You
gonna
gotta
quite make it.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Look at
that
us
was
now.
interesting.
Look at us now. You are my psychiatrist. Appreciate that.
Well, see, look
it,
what I got my background in or my interest in psychology paid off. Not my
it,
background because
it
I mm-mm.
listen. It definitely has helped me personally, man.
Well,
I
I'm glad I
appreciate you.
can.
I know Zoe needs you. We got,
Yeah,
I know we have a part two about motherhood and being a
yes, I'll get into
military
my
spouse, and
blog. I get into my
yeah, yeah,
blog because we didn't even get into that. Definitely
yeah,
get
we
into that.
will. Yeah, we do a part two, man. Like I just wanted, man, just to hear those background stories, man. 'Cause like I said, the whole purpose of this podcast, you just don't know, who you can relate to. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you're talking about the education field. 'Cause there's a lot of people that I know that's in the education field. Like I said, they probably just when they watch this and be like, girl, I know what you're talking about. Like, I'm not the only one. Like you make it relatable. You know what I'm saying? So when we do part two, like we make sure to have your even when I post this, I'll make sure to put like your blog information, man. Because like how she talks on
Oh,
here,
well, thank
she
thank you.
let me tell you something. How she talks on
Thank
here,
you.
she gave me the PG version because she know how I talk. So
Yes,
she was like, you
yes.
know what I'm saying? She
I'm
does that.
trying to be
Yeah,
accommodatable
yeah.
because I'm a cussing Christian. Yes, I am.
That
Um,
she is, yeah. Matter of fact, when I post her blog, you go to her blog, you see what I'm talking about. Like I said, out of respect and love, she kind of toned
I'm
it down today.
trying.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying. And then, Muffin started to mock and mimic. I do not want her first words to be.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Me and
yeah,
my
yeah,
husband was just talking about that because we both have go-to curse words. Like when we drop something or when we forget something,
yeah,
I don't want hers to be mine or his,
yeah,
because they're both not so good words, but I
yeah,
just it just flows. And that's something
yeah,
that I'm gonna have to I call it my summer mouth, my summer language. Because you can
yeah,
go back to school, you got the tone that you can't curse like you would when you go in the classroom. So I gotta get back into taking my
yeah,
summer language and kind of toning it down. Cause I
yeah,
mean, I don't want, like I said, I don't want her cursing. She's going to
yeah,
hear it. But
yeah,
I know you don't curse. And I try to not give you so much. Because like I said,
yeah,
it just flows for me.
yeah,
I think I did it a couple times. Ruben was like, "You curse a lot." I was like, "Did I curse?"
yeah. It's just secondhand. I understand. Like it's a second next to you. Like I
It just
know,
to me it
me.
puts emphasis on
Yeah,
because you can tell somebody sit down. Okay, most of the time it's children. They sit your ass down has a little bit more urgency to it. Now,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
add a
It does.
couple
Yeah,
compounds in between sit and down, you
yeah,
get a little bit faster results. I mean, and that's just and then sometimes it feels good. It just feels good. So that is my
yeah,
guilty pleasure. I like to
yeah,
curse, and I know as a woman it's unbecoming, but whatever. I pay
yeah. Like
taxes, so that's what I feel like it
oh,
goes
that's
towards.
you crazy.
I pay for the right curse. Like that's the least I can do. I can't go
Yeah,
outside without a mask. Got to get shots and
yeah,
carry around your freedom card. But I can curse. Cursing is free,
yeah.
so whatever.
Yeah, I know whenever like we texting and they them words start showing up, I know like I done messed up now. Like I
Oh yeah, oh
yeah,
yeah.
I should have made her point. I can't have a rebuttal because her next point not gonna be so loving and kind. So let me just end it here. Like, you know what? She right.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I just don't even rebuttal like you got me. You're right. So I appreciate you,
But yeah,
man.
of course. And the whole point of my blog too is to because like you said in the beginning, I'm a first time mom. Now I've raised children, but this is my
David.
first of my yes, David's mom. But no,
Yeah.
like I feel like I had a lot of influence on my sister. Like we make a joke about it all the time. My oldest child just graduated college. Like
Yeah.
because I mean
Stacy,
we're
right?
9 years apart. Yeah, we're 9 years
Yeah, Stacy.
apart. So she pretty much,
Yeah.
I felt the need to do all of what I did as far as like living my life a certain way because I knew she was watching. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the parents, dude. You don't speed through the red lights because your kids watching.
Yeah.
You don't steal that because they're watching. You don't eat the grapes because you don't want them eating grapes in the
Yeah.
store and not paying for them. I feel like I've always been groomed into this motherly role because I
Yeah.
had such a younger sister watching me. So
Yeah.
parenting part came natural, but
Gotcha.
it's the everyday, all day
Yeah.
that I'm having
Yeah.
to build stamina up for because
Yeah.
Muffin's a handful. I love her to pieces, but the older
Yeah.
she gets, the more her personality shines through, and she's funny. She
Yeah.
is funny. She's into this let's grab mommy's hair and laugh phase.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
let's slap and giggle. Like, yeah, no, no, no.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes she catch me slipping, and I have to remember she's a baby because that
Yeah.
hurts. So you have to, like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you're my
I
kid
understand.
now, but it hurt. Like, don't pitch me no more.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
I'm
anybody
catching.
watching? Nobody watching. Give a nice little pluck. You know what I'm saying? They don't want
Mm,
to. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
So, but
I,
yeah. So, like I said, in
I
the
believe
blog,
it hit back.
yes, yes.
Oh yeah.
I used to tell my students, and if well, I don't. Well, I'll say this. I tell my students that come at me, whatever you give me, I give it back. So
Yeah.
you might want to be warned. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I
I can
didn't
see
take my
that.
medicine this morning either. So we both unmedicated. So who gonna show out first?
Yeah.
Miss Sims, I didn't take my medicine. Me either. So what's up? What that mean? Don't come in here cutting up.
Yeah.
Well,
Giving
I
that
didn't
your
go to
excuse.
sleep. Me either. So what's up? Like, you see my shirt? This one I had on yesterday. What's going on? Like, I match your crazy. You match mine. I match yours. So start now. We're gonna get through this day and we're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So I take the same approach with children. Period. And then I was telling Ruben too. As much as I did not like other people's children, I don't know if it's because I'm a teacher, but I get attracted by these strange kids. Pharmacy. We were in pharmacy. Random child just runs up to me and just like picking at my shirt and just I didn't look at you with a friendly face. Like, why are you over here? Like, go away. And then
Yeah.
just looking at me. And then of course they run up to the baby and it's like, and Ruben was like, you just have this teacher face. I was like, but I try to give the most get away from me face that I
Yeah.
can find. But the mask, it's just like here on down. So they don't
Oh.
get to see. Like,
Yeah.
they don't get to see it. So
Yeah.
but back to the blog. Like I was saying, I try in my blog to be I try to give it to you how I experience it.
Oh, you
So
do. You do.
so I mean,
Yeah.
I touch on things from what I've experienced as a mother, what I've experienced just as a Black woman, period, as a spouse. I try not to make it so much about one subject. It's just more so. That's why the mom is an acronym. It's supposed to be like the mysteries. What I said, mysteries or moments. One of those things. It's the mysterious moments of me. It's just me all together, but I'm a mom now, so it kind of goes a little bit of every piece of what's going on in my world as it happens. So,
yeah, I'm a fan.
Well, I thank you. You have been one of my biggest cheerleaders. I appreciate that.
Listen, you're pretty dope, man. So, the fact that you've been my friend this long by choice, yeah.
Well, we kind of have some incriminating history. So, if I don't tell on you, you don't tell on me. But
Yeah. Oh no, mine going into the grave. Yeah. Yeah. because you're a
Yeah,
little.
because I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling on you. I'm telling.
You know, I appreciate
I'm
it.
putting
Yeah.
it right too. Get it notarized and everything. Yep. You did it.
Yeah. Then so so I'm a cheer for you on this side. I ain't never gonna be a fool to go the other side. I'm not an idiot.
Quiet.
I
Yep,
I do
quiet.
foolish
That's wonderful.
things. I do foolish things. But I'm not an idiot. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I appreciate you, man. You gotta get back to Muffin. I love you. I
Yes, go
appreciate
get
you.
those pans. Go get those pans today. You done forgot already. Them pans that you recycled. Go get them
Oh, I
pans.
repurposed. Yeah,
Go get those pans.
I just wash them out and put them back underneath the cabinet.
That's disgusting. If they're outside, are
Yeah,
they
they're holding some
outside?
plants. They're holding plants
No,
underwater.
no, you're not. You're not gonna put them babies some cookies on them plants. Nope.
I'm
Go
just
get them
saying,
pans.
man, listen, you wash them with
For the
bleach.
sake of the house that you are living in under the current circumstances, go get them $2 aluminum pans. Here's my
Thank you so much.
psychology.
It was so much more you want to say.
Read between the lines and go get them pans.
You know what?
See, this
You
is
know
me
what?
at work. Here we go.
Yeah,
This is what I do. Go
you
get
know
them
what?
pans.
This is what I'm gonna do because the way you said that, I'm gonna go to Bed Bath and Beyond and get like maybe some $6 pants.
Please,
You know that?
non-stick.
Yeah.
Get them, please. Gosh.
I sure forgot about them pants.
See,
Yeah.
I know. That's what I said. I wrote it down. Remind him about the pans. Please go get that lady pans. Please go get them lady pans.
All right, I'm gonna go get some pants. I'm supposed to go do
Okay,
some.
I'm gonna text you later and make sure you got them.
Yeah, I promise. I gotta do some carpet cleaning. You know, before I get to the carpet cleaning, I'm gonna stop by the stove right up the street here and get those
She
pants.
thanks you too. Thank you, please.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See you later.
All right.